This process of unlocking hidden information has been very experiential for me. I participated and acted on my intuition in various ways, and in so doing received more and more information. This is the co-creative participatory process that I experienced. As this happened, my awareness grew exponentially. My name is Michelle Gibson. One example is that when I started to crack the code early in 2016 that covers everything up, I realized that rock in a place or attraction name was a code word. So I started looking up anything with the word rock in it. Any rock, take your pick. All rocks are connected to the ancient civilization. Chimney Rock, Balanced Rock, Point of Rocks, Rock of Gibraltar, Little Rock, Rock Hill, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of chimney rocks. In this first type of chimney rock, you have a pyramidal shape with a phallic antenna. Pictured here is Chimney Rock in the Terry Badlands in Montana. This is a photograph of Chimney Rock in Nebraska. And this is a picture of Chimney Rock in Colorado. This is an old photograph of what was Chimney Rock in Freedom, Oklahoma, which is also the location of Alabaster Caverns and is also not far from Moreland in Woodward County, Oklahoma. Now they want us to believe, as captioned below the photo, that this 50-foot-high, sturdy rock was worn away so much over thousands of years that one day, in 1973, big winds caused it to fall without anyone seeing it happen. My BS meter is pegged out on this one. Moving on to another style of chimney rock, here are some examples of where the shape is more phallic in nature. First, Chimney Rock in North Carolina. This is Chimney Rock in Kodachrome Basin, Utah. And this last one is Chimney Rock in Sedona, Arizona. I have come to believe that the phallic symbols represent a uniting of the energies of heaven and earth, and that they morphed into onion domes over time, representing the same shape for the same reason. Next is the subject of man-made lakes. I was aware of 2 man-made lakes when I was growing up as a child in Montgomery County, Maryland, and I related the experience of playing on big rocks as a child in the area of Rock Creek in Rockville, and that this location was close to Lake Needwood, which had great recreational facilities. And also Lake Frank, and I knew that both were man-made lakes. I have come to understand that man-made lakes serve at least 2 purposes. One is creating water supply, and 2, covering up ancient infrastructure. I realized early on in cracking the cover-up code that federal, state, and local parks are part of it. So I started looking at pictures of parks on the internet, which included a lot of man-made lakes. In Oklahoma alone, there are more than 200 lakes created by dams, which is the largest number in any state in the United States. So I first started looking at Oklahoma lakes on the internet. I primarily used the Bing.com search engine, which was useful because in addition to your search term, they have a section of people interested in blank also search for blank. And I got a lot more information about other similar places out of that process. Keep in mind that rocks are key features of the ancient civilization. This is Lake Altus. And this is Lake Murray near Ardmore, Oklahoma. And Lake Texhoma on the Texas-Oklahoma border. The next sets of pictures are lakes that I went to see in person. The first lake I went to test my idea that man-made lakes covered up ancient infrastructure was Lake Thunderbird outside of Norman, Oklahoma. I knew what to look for and was not surprised when I found it. I found the same thing at Lake Arcadia, just outside of Edmond, Oklahoma. By the way, Lake Arcadia reminded me of what I saw in pictures of the Gulf of Bothnia, which is between Sweden and Norway, on an alignment I was following on my globe. I found the same kind of evidence at other lakes outside of Oklahoma City, including Twin Lakes in a place called Bethel, Oklahoma. The last thing I want to touch on is what I found when I visited the man-made lakes in Oklahoma City itself. Lake Hefner is on the northwest side of Oklahoma City, and Lake Overholter is on the west side. Both of these lakes have huge slabs of concrete covering the lake shores. At Lake Overholter, this is the only evidence of the ancient civilization I found. Number one, the ancient red rocks used to make this sign, and these big cut blocks of red rock behind the park office. Lake Hefner itself didn't really have anything to offer in terms of visual evidence of the ancient civilization, but Martin Nature Park on the north side of the lake sure did. I have just shared a few examples of how the creation of man-made lakes covered up ancient infrastructure. It has been done everywhere, not random or isolated occurrences. And the process did create reservoirs for local water supplies.